Hello there. I just wanted to share with you the fact that I actually dare to cut into this really thick funky foam. This is thicker than a regular one. Let me show you. This is the one that I have been using before, and in comparison to this one it does have, I think it's 3 or 4 times thicker really. So thanks to Liambu 071126 on YouTube here. She actually has made wonderful stuff with these really thick funky foam things. So what I did was I cut out the weathered clock from Tim Holtz's, one of his dies. So this is his die, weathered clock, and it's a big Sizzix die, and it does cut through things up to, let's say, 3 millimeters. That's what they say, but this one is a bit thicker. But since it actually does press itself together, I think it's all right. So of course the plates might get a little bit warped like that, but in the end they still look like this. So I haven't actually broken them yet, so I'm really pleased with this. So what I did then was I did cut it out of that funky foam, like so. And then I also cut out a piece of easy mount. And I cut them separately. You really need to remember that. Don't cut them at the same time, because then you'll definitely break your plates, or perhaps even the machine, or you wouldn't even get it through. So that's it. You really need to cut them separately, and then just poke out the bits and leftover pieces, and make sure that you get the sticky side on the right side, because the clock can only be in one direction, you see. So the numbers have to be right from the top, and then you have to think about, I actually did cut it the second time with this side facing the die, because I did cut it the wrong way the first time, and it doesn't work now, does it? Because then I'm getting the clock counterclockwise really, so that's not what I'm looking for. So I did ink it up really well with some VersaFine. I mean, this is the best ink, I think, for really good imprints and such. So I started out stamping this black one here. Then I went ahead taking a second print with this one. And then I thought I'd actually try stamping with some acrylic paint, because that is a more fluid version of ink, I should say. So I did put it, and then I didn't clean up the stamp or anything, so I did have something grey underneath and some orange on top, and that was really fancy. So I could see myself inking it up with some black, and perhaps having a really messy looking acrylic paint bottle or something that you are not that particular about keeping the top clean. Then you could actually add it on after you have put the black ink on, so you could get a double color effect there. And then I went ahead to see how far it could stretch. So this is the second print with the orange, third and the fourth. So here you can see it's getting rather faint. But this is also a nice result if you want to get some faint things. So you could actually have 2 or 3 papers going if you are going to work with different intensities in the colors I see. That's what I'm trying to get at really. So I really did like this, and I can see myself using this for either mixed media, cards or whatever. And if I don't want to keep these as, make them into stamps, which I could, and you see I'm going to show you something else. This is the thing that got me started, and it's again Liambu 071126 that actually showed me this. She had made the most beautiful thing as a birthday gift for, or just a card or something for a friend of mine, and she had used these really thick numbers, and she had painted them, and she had done some magical things with them, I'm telling you. So I thought, and I wondered, how on earth was she able to die cut it? And I didn't dare to do that before she answered me. So I got the final answer just the other day, and I just had to go to Panduro. It's a craft shop here in Sweden, and buy myself a piece of funky foam. And that was the last one really. So I was in a bit in luck there. So these are the things that you can actually also make into stamps. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. How funky would that be? But there is a drawback, of course. Some of the numbers aren't cohesive, or should I say, some of the numbers aren't in one piece. Some of them are actually in 3 pieces or something. So here's the 3, number 3, and as you can see, it is in 3 pieces. It's got the bow there and then the 2 ends there. The number 2 has got 2 pieces, the 0 has got 2, the 1 is the only one actually being 1. But when I did cut this one out, I figured that had I put the numbers right, had I put them in a fancy order, I mean, let's say I have had a strip like this, instead of this long strip like that, I could actually make a really nice pattern out of this, because I could use this as a stencil also, so I needn't throw this one away. Or one could even make it into perhaps a guide for painting your house number or something. Just imagine having this possibility of making a really thick stencil out of this. So this is something that I fancy right now. I could also see myself die cutting these cog wheels and whatever I've got with those thick big dies. So that's it from me. I do fancy having this wonderful clock. I also did cut out the clock hands. I haven't done anything with them yet, but of course you could cut these or just mount these together and stamp with different colors and really get a nice clock going there. So that's it from me. I'm going to sign off right now. Bye bye.